We got some news breaking just in the last hour. The United Kingdom choosing Huawei to build part of its 5G network. This coming despite protests from the United States. Joining us right now to talk about it on the Squawk Newsline is Huawei Technologies U.S.A. Chief Security Officer Andy Purdy. Good morning to you, Andy.
Good morning.
This looks like a win for your company. Also, though, raises lots of questions about the relationship between the U.S., the U.K., and then the U.K. and China. And wanted you to try to weigh in on that, given some of the commentary that we've heard not only after the past couple of months, but even the last weekend, with Mike Pompeo warning the UK again not to use your technology, calling it a security risk, and saying that if they did go ahead and use it, that we might not share sensitive information with them.
Well, frankly, we don't really see this as a win per se. This is a very small step in a process that began 15 years ago. With the UK, they've taken a very measured, very somber approach to risk mitigation so that they can get the benefits of technology. Much easier to overstate the significance of this than to understate it.
It can't be used in the core of the network. I don't see how that's a win. The backbone of the UK mobile network must not contain any Huawei equipment. It's kind of a nuanced arrangement, wouldn't you say, at this point, Andy?
Well, there's actually much more risk mitigation in it than that. It's important that we won't be on the core, but in addition, they'll limit our participation in those parts of the access network to 35%, which is a very significant limitation, and we can't have these our products near certain sensitive locations.
So do you think this satisfies Pompeo and the Trump administration, or this is, you know, the UK went against? We were spinning it as if the UK just said, sort of said tough toenails to the Trump administration. Is this, you'd like, I'm sure, a lot more access?
Well, I think this is an appropriate approach given the needs of the UK. We can't predict what it's going to mean in Germany or the EU or Australia. It's really an effort to address risk and make the technologies available to the people of the UK. And, frankly, my biggest concern, as we've talked about on the show, is what's the longer-term impact of the larger effort on American jobs, a lot of which are at risk in the current situation.
Let me ask you a separate question, which is what kind of back-channel conversations were happening between Chinese leaders and UK leaders over this decision? Because it does seem like there's a little bit of threading the needle, trying to satisfy both sides.
Well, we don't know of any communication between the U.S. and China governments. Certainly, a number of governments around the world. There's been publicity saying that they feel like they're under pressure from both governments, and that's a shame. And certainly, in my visiting 26 countries for Huawei, I can feel a number of countries meet with us, and they're really afraid to talk about it.
Andy, how many countries are actively considering banning Huawei from all or part of their network right now?
Well, the larger focus, and I think the only one that has actually banned us is Australia back from July of 2018. But what's interesting and I think very valuable is that all this publicity has brought greater focus and attention by governments and the carriers and mobile operators to what's really necessary to address cybersecurity risk in a way that's transparent and in a way that the government can know that the risk is being addressed. And so those conversations are very, very important, and they're ongoing. Not as much focused on whether to ban us per se, but on what's really necessary to address the real cybersecurity risk so folks can take advantage of the technology.
One of the things we did mention earlier, and I'd love you to weigh in on it, is the idea that if, in fact, the United States continues to share information with the UK, sensitive information, in the future, whether it will be some form of a litmus test for the claim, which I know you have objected to, that you do represent a national security threat to the United States and are not just a pawn in this larger trade war.
Well, it's certainly critically important that the U.S. and its allies find a way to share information, because it's a two-way street. It's not just from the U.S. to the U.K. and other countries. And for our mutual defense, it's important to be able to share the information. There's no technical reason why the information can't be shared if Huawei's in 35% of the radio access part of the UK network. There's no technical reason. The information is going to be secure. It's not sent in some open text way. So it's more of some a bargaining chip by the U.S. to convince other countries to bar us. But we've got to make sure that we can share information two ways with our allies.